Hey there, so you thinking about making a move or relocating to St. George, Utah? If so, this video is made for you because we are going to be breaking down some of the reasons why people are wanting to make Utah, specifically St. George, home. Hi there, if you're new to this channel, my name's Mariah Koehle. I make videos each week on this YouTube channel specifically about moving to the state of Utah, what it's like to live here, what it's like to work here, what it is like to buy real estate here in the state of Utah. I'm an active and licensed real estate agent, and I work with amazing real estate partners to help people just like you make the transition and relocation to the state of Utah. You can call, text, email, days, nights, or weekends, and we'd love to connect with you. Also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to St. George, Utah guide, simply comment down below the word guide, G-U-I-D-E, and we'd love to send that over to you. So there is a lot to be said about St. George. Yes, so much to be said about St. George. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of different just facts. I'm going to give you a lot of facts about why this place may be the right fit for you. It may not, but I'm going to give you a lot of information today about population, about, just different things that have to do with St. George. And hopefully this will help you to make, a decision one way or another. So St. George is ranked top 3 for best performing small cities. Top 3, that's pretty big. And best places to start your business. Now, I know Utah has so many different startup companies. It is a very business friendly state. And what I mean by this is, I know when I started my business here 4 years ago, my husband has a business here. We're both small business owners. And when we started our businesses here, it was like, here you go. They just made it much easier to start a business than in some other places. So it is a very business friendly state. Also, with that being said, taxes here in Utah are 4.55%. So for some business owners, that is a big deal. So let's hop right into some of these different things. The unemployment rate here in Utah is less than 3%. That is a big deal. There are a lot of people working here in St. George. There are a lot of jobs in the healthcare industry. There are a lot of different jobs in construction. Also within, like I said, with healthcare, there are a lot of different things with retail, commercial, lots of different things in the way of jobs. So if you're thinking about making a move here specifically for relocating for jobs, like I said, unemployment rate is very low here in St. George. As of March 2022, St. George is one of the fastest growing cities. So for some people, they're like, I don't know if I want that. But for other people, they're like, because of all the growth, there's a lot of new home construction. Because there's a lot of new home construction, there are a lot more shops, restaurants, new amenities that are popping up here in St. George. So for some people, they're like, I love that. I love having all the, the new things that are coming in. So the median age in St. George is 37 years old. Yes, 37 years old. And the range of the population from 18 to 65 is a little more than half of the population. So just kind of keep that in mind too. The 18 to 65 is that median population. Another reason why people are wanting to make St. George home is simply the great healthcare. Yes, the healthcare here in and around St. George is top notch. And they say a lot of the different jobs that are coming here to St. George are having to do with healthcare. So new healthcare providers like Stewart Health, Family Health, you've got Intermountain Health. So a lot of different job opportunities, and local residents love the different healthcare options here. Tourism, leisure, and hospitality have grown about 10% in the last 2 years here in St. George. So a lot in and a way to do with, like I said, hospitality, leisure, tourism Here in St. George, it is a fairly large tourist destination. So you've got actually people that come from all over the place, but you do have a lot of people that will snowbird here from Salt Lake City, which is about 4 hours north of St. George. So people will come down here. I know a lot of people that will have second homes here, or they will simply come for holidays, or during the winter time when it is snowing in Salt Lake, people will come here to St. George during the winter time. The graduation rate here in St. George is unbelievable. It is over 93% compared to the nation's average, which is about 88%. So you've got a really high graduation rate, high school graduation here. About 30% of the population hold a bachelor's degree, and about 42% hold an associate degree here. The mean income here in St. George is about $83,000 at the time that I'm shooting this video. The proximity that you have here in St. George to the regional airport that can take you to Salt Lake, that can take you down to Las Vegas, all over. The airport is a really nice resource here in St. George. A lot of people make use of it. It is not an international airport, but about an hour and 45 minutes south of here, we've got Las Vegas, and Las Vegas has an international airport there as well, and about 4 hours up to Salt Lake for that international airport too. Some of the things people like here, some people love that there are, you are close enough to different amenities. So yes, there's no, professional sports team here, but you do have professional sports teams like the Utah Jazz, that's up in Salt Lake. You do have all of the professional sports that are in Las Vegas. So sometimes people feel like the proximity here in St. George is really great. Other people feel like, you know what, it's not as close to certain things like they would want. They like it a little bit more remote, which again, for some people, they're like, I don't want to be right in the big city. I'm okay to drive 2 hours or 4 hours or whatnot to have more of a slower pace of life here in St. George. So you're going to experience that, where there are plenty of resources, there are plenty of amenities, but just know there are not as many amenities as you're going to see in Las Vegas or in Salt Lake City. Let's talk about national parks for a moment. Some of the national parks, specifically Zion, which is about 30 minutes from St. George, you've got all 5 mighty national parks that are in the state of Utah are all located in southern Utah. So you've got Zion, you've got Capitol Reef, Arches, Bryce Canyon. You've got all of those that are all right down here in southern Utah. So for some people who love being outdoors, St. George is a great fit, and especially for those national parks. Here in St. George too, we have some beautiful, just like I've said, neighborhood parks, regional parks, state parks. Snow Canyon is such a gorgeous park. If you've never been hiking around there or biking around there, definitely put that on your list of things to do when you take a trip out here. It is one of those things where every time my parents come out here, they're like, wow, this is so awesome. And my kids are climbing all over the rocks, and it's just a really, really gorgeous place. So the parks here are unbelievable. Not only the parks are great, but all the outdoor recreation. And there's a lot more in terms of recreational activities, that new pickleball courts that are coming up, I feel like all over, a lot of different parks are putting in new pickleball courts. The baseball fields, the softball fields, there are a lot of tournaments that are here. The soccer fields that they have here are just really, really nice. So for families, for people who are really active, this is a really nice place to be too. Also, it's clean, it's family friendly, it's very retirement friendly too. They've got a beautiful, active senior community that's here that have different activities, meals throughout the week. So that is another big draw for many people when they're thinking about making a move here to St. George as well. If you are an avid golfer, you will have so much fun golfing here in St. George, because there are tons of different golf courses in and around the St. George, Utah area. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you are thinking about making the move or relocating and you're still kind of on the fence. My team and I help people like you all the time, so feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, weekends. We would love to help you in that transition. Also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to St. George, Utah guide, comment down below the word guide, and we would love to send that over to you. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your day and week, and we'll chat with you soon. Take care and have a great one. Bye.